Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes, the podcast where we break down anime music soundtracks. And today is not a solo episode. Today, I am so excited. We have
Studio mic is fine, but thank you very much. I'm very.
We'll go with studio mic. Studio mic's in the pod.
Yes, sir.
I'm very excited to have you all. I've been hunting this person down to join an episode for a very long time, and the schedules have aligned on this fine day. Mike, before we talk all about like anime music and Dragon Ball and nerd out, please intro yourself to the audience. You're a big music guy. You review music. You're essentially the perfect like profile for a guest, and why I've been bugging you to come on for such a long time. Go ahead. What do you do? Plug your stuff. Like, kind of just talk about who you are.
Well, I'm first and foremost, as you kind of mentioned, very into music, a sound engineer as well. I guess musician, then sound engineer. I guess one enables the other a little bit easier. I work also a lot of corporate audiovisual stuff, as we both tag team on some gigs as well.
We do.
Yes, sir. And I've recently last year started having this regular Twitch stream. Try to keep it weekly, wherein people just drop by, drop a track, and I'll listen to like 2 minutes of a song for free and tell them what I think, tell them how I think it could be improved if there are any notes. There always are. And allowing people just a platform to spotlight their music and to be actually get in there and make it as better as is possible within my powers. It's tough to always, get clients to hire a producer or a sound engineer for their own music, but I feel like people need that feedback, need that production advice regardless. And if people aren't going to pay for it, well, God damn it, someone's got to do it. So
right. Absolutely. And something I have to do on all these episodes, and I literally forgot the intro, and I will do now is thank the sponsor of today's show.
Thank you so much, sponsors.
Studio Mike, someone's got to do it, man. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. And it's great you talk about music production because this show is sponsored by Laser Audio Technologies. It's a very good friend of mine who I met at Concordia in the electroacoustic program that's literally started his own plugin company, and he has amazing plugins, very creative effects-based plugins. There's a free one. There's a bunch of cool ones. Fram, Glow. Go check them out. If you use code JaianMusic, you get 25% off at checkout. All that money goes straight into the podcast, like paying GoPro Keo, who does all of the artwork. His link is also in the description. All right. This is where we get nerdy about anime music, and this is what I've been waiting for. The music in the Dragon Ball universe is so vast that there is no way we will be able to completely cover the complexities and the amazing awesomeness that this soundtrack brings. So for you, on a general standpoint, how do you feel about the music in Dragon Ball? What does it mean to you? What does it represent? Like, go anywhere you want to go here.
Great question. I guess the place that I've always held Dragon Ball music, very contrary to like the rest of my musical perspective, is really as a support element for the actual story more than anything else. I've always felt the music in the background, but I guess it's just the instinct of a viewer to watch something that is visual, to sort of let sound become secondary. Now, to be fair, I haven't watched a lot of Dragon Ball lately. It was more of a childhood Dragon Ball Z temporary obsession. Especially for the Frieza arc was just kind of exactly where it was coming out, and I was just my heartstrings are attached to that.
Yes.
But yeah, so the music itself, funny enough, I never really noticed it more than if it amplified or took away from a scene, I guess. That's my...
Very fair. Yeah, very fair. I think that the music in there sets this mood of like action and a tone that's battle ready almost all times, and then you also get this like super different contrast with funny Goku's gonna make a mistake type music.
True. Yeah, they humanize him so well on that show. God damn.
They really do. They really do. And for me, a thing that I really love about the soundtrack in Dragon Ball, and like when you mentioned the Frieza arc, like I mean, like just the use of analog synthesizers and how much they rip into like this is a villain and you're gonna hate him and you know what I mean?
You know, that's so true. And I have no real memory of the exact themes and melodies that were in that arc, but I specifically remember how much weird synth work there was. And now that you're calling it back to me, I'm like, yeah, it's true. They made Frieza's music much more dissonant and much less melodic than everyone else. They made him the enemy through the sound. It's great.
Yes, it's great. It's absolutely great. And you know, today we're gonna be going through some like specific soundtracks. And I think if we're talking villain, we can talk about a specific soundtrack that I love, because this guy was a villain for a bit and then he became a good guy. But do you want to kick it off with the Piccolo theme? Do you want to give that one a bit of a listen and see where it brings you?
Sure. So the first word, I'm like still playing it in the background here, but
yeah, of course.
The first word that comes to mind when I listen to it is mischief.
Mine's menace.
Yeah, cool. So we both have this sort of antagonistic kind of feel, which is good. I think that's what they're trying to portray.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, it's a track that it instills this like very light fear. Like, you know, it's about to get real. Something's amiss, and Piccolo's always been this character that right at the beginning you're like, okay, in this Dragon Ball arc, the Piccolo, like pre-Z, pre-Raditz, pre-Saiyan Saga, before any of that. Before it gets really, really good, if you know what I mean, Piccolo's kind of like that final boss and that final challenge for Goku, and I feel like his music, whenever he comes on screen, you know, imposes not only like mischief and menace, but also like a challenge. Like, are you really gonna be able to get me, Goku? Are you really gonna be able to be strong enough? And there's like, I don't know, like, they do such a good job of instilling like this like slight doubt in the music, because you're listening like, okay, if this guy's got this theme, like he's gonna be really powerful, you know? Like, the guy can grow into a huge thing. He can shoot lasers out of his mouth. He's got antennas on his forehead. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you see what I mean?
Yeah, they definitely built him into something that was badass. I remember Piccolo. You don't fuck with Piccolo. Oh, sorry. Can we swear on your podcast?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. You do not fuck with Piccolo. Like, he was sort of, you're right, he was a villain at first. And the thing I like about this theme is that it doesn't sound full villain vibes, in my opinion.
No.
It does echo you said menace, I said mischief, the antagonistic nature that a character can take, but it could very well be an ally that has that nature that can still, which is what it ends up being, of course, but it leaves that opening, because it's not evil to a crazy degree necessarily.
No, not at all. It's like an introductory evil, because I feel like every villain in Dragon Ball, you know, although epic, although powerful, although fun to watch, it pales in comparison to like Piccolo will never be a Frieza. Piccolo will never be a Cell. Piccolo will never be a Boo. So I think that just like there's this leveling with the music where you just want to kind of keep it calm but evil. Like I said, like something's amiss. Like the theme is very much one that reflects a challenge is arriving. But like when you listen to like Gohan versus Cell on the Kamehameha struggle, like we're going full villain theme. We're going full like we're gonna explode the planet. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we need to dose it.
That stuff, exactly. And because this world can take that scale, they really do that well, I find, in this particular theme. It's part of a soundtrack, so it's something that is meant to accompany television. It's meant to accompany visuals.
Yes.
I'm trying to take that into consideration, I guess.
It's really hard to sometimes, though. You know,
it is.
You do like to do a playthrough, like, all right, this is a beat. No, it's not. This is like for TV.
Yeah, it would almost be like more helpful to watch the actual like scenes from the TV with these themes in it to like get the context, which
point.
Of course copyright is a nightmare there.
Yeah.
But but yeah, like for this theme in particular, the melodic structures I find are pretty much all in place.
Yeah, I agree.
It almost has kind of circus-y vibes in a little way. Like they
Piccolo is a circus. Piccolo is a circus, bro.
I mean,
they named it King Piccolo Day. Do you not remember that? Like
I don't.
Oh my god. Okay, we gotta take a second to talk about this.
Okay.
Like King Piccolo is basically the first like I'm gonna take over the world villain in all of Dragon Ball. Like he's the first like this is my planet. Like Frieza was this is my planet. Boo was like this is my universe. But King Piccolo went around and basically like captured all these cities and all these people, and then he like took the broadcast of television and he's like, today I took over Earth and today is King Piccolo Day. So every May, whatever it is, like every year. So he ran it like a circus. So it's really funny that you mentioned that because he kind of, yeah,
then
absolutely.
That makes total sense. Yeah, I mean it's one beat choice away from a polka, because if they would have gone instead of da 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 da, they would have gone da 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 da.
Yeah, absolutely.
Polka circus, hands down.
Polka circus. Yeah.
But yeah,
I completely agree.
It's good. It steps up. I mean, when it does juice up that energy, it's in general when something dramatic is going to happen. It's kind of like I compare it to, as I always do, Dungeons and Dragons. I compare it to like exploration music versus combat music. In a way.
That's a good way to see it.
But this engaging section is pretty cool. I don't really think I have much more to say.
No stress. Say as much as you need to. We can move on to. Do you want to just get all the Piccolo music out of the way? Because we got another Piccolo song here.
For sure.
We might as well. So this is a song I did not know existed, and then I went to Otakuthon in 2024, and there was a panel hosted by the American Dragon Ball composers, and one of them goes, one of my favorite themes is Piccolo versus 17. And I'm like, there's a song literally called Piccolo versus 17.
In my notes, I ripped a lot on the media arrangement of this. I wasn't a fan of the sounds I was hearing, but it sounds very 90s, let's say it that way. Sounds kind of 80s, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it sounds like the first MIDI engines that ever existed. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. This is like Hyper Fight. This is like two titans facing off against one, or not so much titans, but people with super. I mean, that's what Piccolo is. He's super agile, super fast, right? And 17 was, if I'm not mistaken, the female with the
the male. 17 is the male one.
17 was the male. Hold on, let me look it up.
18 is the female. 17 is the black-haired one. But the thing with this theme and why this battle is so epic is right prior to like this song playing for the very first time. Do you know what happened to Piccolo? He fused with God. He fused with Kami to become a super Namekian. And this is the thing. Namekian fusion's a thing. There's two in the whole series. One on Namek when he fuses with Nail for the very first time, takes on Frieza. And then one when he fuses with Kami becomes basically stronger than Super Saiyan 1 level at this point. Like even Vegeta comes across him and he's like, what happened to you, Namekian? How is your power level? And the pride kicks in.
Of course.
As Vegeta does. When they go at it with this theme song, like what I really liked about it, it felt like an arpeggiator to me. It just felt like, you know what? I'll even go a step further. Get it? It is an arpeggiator that someone turned down and left the room and left running. You see what I mean?
It's a trip. It's like, I think, if you permit me.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that's like the notes, right? I think he's like playing the first note, which is B. Then he's going up to the minor third, and then he's going up to the octave, and he's just and he just repeats that arp. And then you're right. It's like he put the arp on, walked out of the room, walked into the main studio room, started playing the drums over it, and just coming up with a beat. Then he picked up the guitar, da da da. It's like a loop beat almost.
It's like this build, and then at the end you just get this.
Yes.
So there's like we're punching each other in the face for 50 seconds, and then we're like, "Hey, look at the sun."
That's funny, man. It's true. That's what I think you were making. Maybe to your point was when he fused with an even greater power. When Piccolo fused with an even greater power, and still couldn't defeat Cell, because if I'm not mistaken, 17 murked him, right? Like absorbed
17
him.
and Piccolo were like tied to like a pulp. Like there was like they're both basically like Reddit will like have arguments as to who's stronger on that one, but like the fight was a draw, and then Cell version 1 showed up after like absorbing even more humans and was stronger than Piccolo or 17, and like then went on to absorb 17 and 18 and the rest of that. But Piccolo versus 17 to me is a song that was, you know, just like pure action, pure fight, pure like punching each other in the face. You know,
Android 17 or Cell 17. It's the same thing, right? It's like
Android 17 and Cell are two different ones. Android 17 is the Android that is the brother of 18, and Cell is also an Android, but he's the like main villain.
So this was sorry, I was confusing too. So Cell was the one that has the tail that absorbs.
Yeah.
And Android 17 is the one this fight is based on.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm up to date. Cool. Got it. So yeah,
no,
so 17.
Good.
So 17, I do remember. It's like it's the power level was it was a power struggle. That's literally what it was. It was a power struggle battle, and
definitely.
And I think you're right that there's an argument for who's stronger on either side of this, but that I think is portrayed well in this theme.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm glad we do.
I completely agree with you. Man, I don't know if I made the playlist perfectly lined up for it, but like a battle theme that I think would be really cool to go to is M811, which I don't know why you would name a song like that, but it was named like that. I really like the comparison you made when you said traveling music or battle music, like on a D&D perspective, which that's a whole other conversation. But D&D and Dragon Ball share a lot of similarities. I've done a little bit of D&D in my life and a lot of Dragon Ball. Definitely a lot of similarities. And so when we're talking about the battle with Piccolo and 17, to me another battle theme, M811 is this battle theme that we can hit play real here. So this M811 song to me is one that is used constantly in battles. It's another one of those like similar to Piccolo versus 17. It's action-packed. It's full of these moments where just the drums are driving, the guitars are sliding, we're distorted, we're in your face, but it's got this weird mix of guitars, almost like this like lead, like boom 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 boom, but like the rhythm just like follows it behind and the drums holds it together. I love it. I love this song so much.
I do like it as well. It evokes a lot of epic themes. They do a lot of the very I want to say on scale harmonic minor kind of progressions, where they're dealing a lot with the tonic, the minor third, and they're dealing a lot with the dominance. They're playing with those very strong musical sort of steps, I guess.
Yes.
And on top of it, like you said, there's these driving guitars, brass too. I'm hearing that da 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 da, like that's brass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. What is that? What is that theme? Wait a minute. Cool. Yeah, it's. Yeah. Okay. So it's a chromatic descent, but it's really really cool. Yeah.
This one, you know, M811 is known in the Dragon Ball community as the battle theme. You know, it's appeared like in so many different areas, like in just confrontations. Like one that I remember, if I'm not mistaken, is in the Saiyan Saga, when it was Vegeta versus Gohan when he became a great ape. When Goku's like, Kid Gohan, look at the moon, and then he becomes this big ape, and then Vegeta's like, oh come on, like I'm so over this. I just want to defeat you guys. You guys are too powerful. It's known as the battle theme, so it's just normal for it to have like this high speed, high energy epicness that you go and reach throughout the different like combination of notes and with the instrumentation of like those guitars, da 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 da, ba da da da. you know?
And that too, like that's very up and down, starting home base, going to the direct opposite, and then coming back. It's like it's very back and forth.
It's super vibrant. And this is the part of the podcast where I would request listeners that if you are listening to this on 1.5 speed, like you really should listen to it on like normal speed, because we're doing all these notes and music references, and it's just gonna be weird for you, man.
Turn it into full speed metal.
I know some people, man, they listen on ×3 speed. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I can listen to more. I'm like, but how do you download the
You're missing I'm sure you miss things at that point. Like, I'm sure you can't digest everything at I understand people who like speed up their experience. Podcasts it's a useful tool to digest more information in a long time. But music, man, it feels like there's someone who was behind that, who decided this is what the tempo is because reasons. Don't mess with that. Even at 1.5, it's like, you might be losing some of the feel that the author intended.
Yeah, don't like listen to this battle anthem. This like classic, to me, it's like just to like wrap it on M811, like a classical Dragon Ball battle anthem. It's just, you think of any Dragon Ball Z action sequence and tell me this song doesn't fit. You're wrong. This song fits in any like Dragon Ball Z battle like action sequence, like 100%. 100%.
It really does. It's perfect because it is a simple theme. It's that main da 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 4 notes, you know, and the other thing is not that complex. So it's as a recurring villain or battle theme, this works super well in general. It's super
hard to agree with that.
Generic enough but personal enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got like its redeeming qualities, although it's like, it's clearly a battle song.
Then you gotta fight. When you hear this, when you hear that da, 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 like everyone looks at each other like, oh shit, the battle music started.
Who's swinging first? Who's swinging first?
You said it though, eh? It's like it's recognizable as the constant battle theme. My players know when I'm DMing, when I'm in Dungeons and Dragons, when the music starts swelling and you start hearing the strings and the horns start playing a little more aggressively, they all look at each other like, is he about to do something fucked up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. The answer is yes.
I've been picking all the songs so far. I'm gonna let you, like, if there's one you want to go to, please.
Sure. Let's see here. Let's go to what's on number 6. We Were Angels.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that one very much. I'm gonna play it as well. Here. I mean, we're starting. It sounds kind of like a mix between glam rock and heavy metal and modern alternative a little bit. And then you get that. It gets very J-rock very quickly, which I'm totally okay with. Yeah, it's the vibe. It doesn't really contrast Dragon Ball, but in a way, it also does, because the vocals and like the backup singing and all of those things, very, I don't know, it's almost, there's a lot of resolve, there's a lot of prettiness, if you will, what we've not really heard yet.
Yeah, to me, like, if the song feels courageous, you know, like kind of like this endure your hardships, and you know, I feel like that's a sentiment that Goku like just speaks to so well. And this song it's either an ending or an opening theme. I know it's definitely one of those two.
Yeah.
And it aligns with like this is anime, like friendship growth music every day.
Which
every single day.
They're totally themes, valid themes in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball in general, like that friendship aspect, super prevalent, but it's just all we've heard so far is very dissonant, very tensiony music, and now we're getting almost some release, we're getting some relief from all of that dissonance almost. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying it's like it doesn't contrast Dragon Ball, but it contrasts everything we've heard so far.
Yeah, we've been in the darker section so far.
What's that?
We've been in the darker section so far.
Yeah. I mean, now I think I'm coming into the chorus 2 at this point.
Yeah.
Super uplifting. See those chord progressions that, like, they go from the minor and then they come up to just a pure major chord progression, and then inspiring.
Inspiring is absolutely the right word.
What's
like
that?
it's just inspiring is absolutely the right word. Like I really think this song, to me, I feel like it's okay. This is going to be some nerdy Dragon Ball statement that I'm about to make, but like,
this is what I'm here for.
What better time and place? To me, it's like Goku after he passes away from the Cell Saga, looking down on Earth and just being like uplifting that, like, I'll be back. It's okay. I believe in you guys. Carry on without me. You'll see me again because Dragon Balls are a thing. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I'm totally. No notes on that statement. I think it feels
no JaianMusic Notes on that statement.
And no, it truly feels that like there's something lost here. It's not all happy. There's intensity. There's conflict there, but it's too uplifting and inspirational for it to just be like, oh, this is it. This is your last hope kind of thing. No. There's more to come is what the feeling I'm coming
100%.
from.
There's more to come.
What were my notes on this? So I'll keep my actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that note because I'm going to wait until we've listened to a few songs. A few different songs with this sort of feel.
All right, fair enough.
But yeah, awesome. It's really awesome. It's just concluding now, and it's like under 4 minutes of just juicy rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many other good ones to go to here. Oh my gosh. If you have another one, go ahead.
Oh, joys. Okay. I guess we could stay within that sort of like full band sound. Let's go Chala Head Chala.
Oh my God. That's the one. That's the one. Okay. All right.
What's up?
This song. Yes, I fully agree. Let's go through this song.
It seems to cause you an emotional reaction.
Yeah, it causes me an emotion because this song is so. I don't know if you know, but the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, passed away this year. And when I heard this news, I went through like my old covers and the old like arrangements that I had like worked on for like covers in the past, and I decided to make a basically a farewell like cover thanking Akira Toriyama, and it was a cover of Chala Head Chala. So this song is like it's hard for me to like analyze it from a musical perspective because this one is so strictly nostalgic and emotional to me. And there's like it's these fine moments in this podcast that I'll like have that type of feeling towards a song because like usually I'm like, oh, the vibe of this, the note of that, the melody of this, but like no, but this song is Dragon Ball. Like if you had to like delete the entire Dragon Ball discography off the internet and leave one song on, this is the song you're leaving on.
This is the one.
This is the one and only one. And I've seen it live. I've had the opportunity of seeing the original singer of it singing it live at a special event in Montreal. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that the Dragon Ball community went through in 2024. And, you know, like, the song is love. This song is amazing. This song is everything. So I'm happy you chose it. I'll let you do the musical breakdown on this one.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Well, let's get it going then. Let's listen to what we got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I remember those synths. Yeah, this one goes hard.
This one is everything, man. It's everything.
They go straight to the speed metal drums. I love it.
Absolutely.
So something I want to say about this.
Yes.
The mix is quite good on this song, on this version I'm listening to now.
Yeah.
Which is nice because there are a few of these that are very like meaty, processed, unprocessed meaty, I should say. Mm-hmm. And this sounds nice and juicy.
This one is like Chala Head Chala is this Dragon Ball theme that is like it's an online meme. It's part of anime culture. You know, it's the first theme that was used to decide that okay, Dragon Ball is gonna air and this is gonna be the song.
Okay.
You know, it captures the fearless spirit of the show, in my opinion. It's got this adventurous. High energy. You know, it's got I like talking about synthesizers. It's got some great synthesizer lines,
Yeah.
and like for me, driving rhythm. Please go ahead. Yes.
Oh no, I was listening to what you're thinking.
That's basically what I'm saying. Like it's got the synthesizers with the guitars and everything, like the high energy of it all. It just gives it this whole driving progression that just kind of keeps going. And this is one of the only, as far as I know, I think this song is one of the only anime themes out there that's like been re-recorded in different languages. Like I know there's an English version. Like typically you just kind of, hey, here, this is the opening. It's sang in Japanese. Figure it out for the rest. Like this one,
sure.
I know there's an official English version, and like I wouldn't be surprised if there was an official French language and everything. Just once again speaking on the cultural breakthrough this track has had.
This track itself is like sort of the iconic one, as far as I'm understanding it. So here's the thing: is that I'm sure that I've heard this before. I'm sure I have, but in the Canadian airing of Dragon Ball, this was not the theme opening for Dragon Ball Z.
That's a shame. If that's the case,
no,
that's a shame.
I don't know if you've heard the theme that it opens up on. I'm going to pause this for a second because there's so much going on in this track that it's actually like it's worth talking about.
Yeah, tell me about this.
I don't know if you've ever heard the lame ass translation. It's not even a translation. It's a theme that they rewrote in Canada. Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I actually like that one.
Ball.
Look,
it's nostalgia for me. It touches me in the heartstrings. I don't mind it. But compared to this, what? Come on, man! You can do, and the thing is the guitars too. They're just like dun 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 dun, and then there's this thing. We got shafted. My buddy who used to live in Mexico for decades, and then he came to live here when he was in his teenage years. He told me he used to watch Dragon Ball in Mexico, and then in Mexico, the thing about music for shows and stuff is that they take the time to do it really well. For Pokemon, it was the same thing. They did amazing translations for so many, and I'm pretty sure my buddy Jorge has told me about this song translated into Spanish and shown it to me, and I was like, oh, this is so much better than fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Like I said, like it's got a cultural breakthrough. Like I don't even feel like the need to talk about like my musical analysis of this one, because like if you're listening to this podcast this far into it, you know this song, you know it's music. Like it doesn't need to be spoken on further, even if this show's about music and anime. Like in terms of like the actual song itself, like this song it's everything. It's literally
good
everything.
The way it is. It's like
I don't have the way it is.
I don't have much
critiques
either to say. It's just that there are so many musical like elements that are interacting so nicely. It's almost worth mentioning like the mix between synths and guitar, which is usually it's not difficult to accomplish, but it's difficult to accomplish well. And I think that this song, as a testament to it, and as a further testament to it, not just storytelling wise, this mix, this composition, the way that they have composed the guitars to interact with the synths.
Yeah.
Magnificent musical composition. Magnificent.
No, I fully agree. I think this is a good place to, like, we'll keep recording obviously and everything, but like this is a perfect place for like part one of our episode, because these go on. I do multi-parts for these guest episodes. I should have said it ahead of time, but like this is like, I feel like this is a good, like, keep recording, but like we can slowly wrap it up on that point. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, Studio Mike and JaianMusic are gonna rock the dragon with more songs on Dragon Ball. If people want to find you on the internet and follow what you do, Studio Mike, where can they find you?
So on Twitch, twitch.tv/studio_Mike_. Same thing for YouTube, Studio Mike. It's pretty a universal thing. The content that I release at this time is pretty much centered around my feedback that I provide artists. And so if ever you're looking for a song to be listened to with a set of expert ears, Studio Mike.
Perfect.
Hey.
Everything will be linked in the description. Go follow all of that, please. And a reminder, show is sponsored by Laser Audio Technologies. 25% off. Use code JaianMusic. Link in the description. Awesome plugins. Laser. and the artwork is provided by GoPro Kyo, who's been the artist for this podcast and a lot of other podcasts and a lot of other shows. And I've known him for over a decade. He's a brother, so please go check him out. His links are also in the description. So for myself and Studio Mike, this has been a episode of JaianMusic Notes, and we'll see you next week in the next one.